is CometTroy. It is April 7th. I woke up this morning to 40 degrees and dead batteries in my coach. I'm stuck in the mud. I would not have believed you if you would have told me. I made it through both mud puddles yesterday. There's one behind me. It's starting to dry up more. Made it through both mud puddles, barely. And then I get stuck on the highest elevation of my property. I mean, can you believe it? So I get through both mud puddles and here I sit stuck. It's this Tennessee mud is so greasy that I cannot get any traction. So there I sit. However, right now I have more important things to work on. I have to prepare for a bulldozer and a track hoe arriving here in an hour. So I gotta go take down some stakes and mark off some trees and prepare for that. So here I am in mud puddle number 1. I'm gonna try to barrel through it. I tried to slow roll through it initially, and I'm like, oh crap. I thought I was doomed here. But I can pull forward. Look at all that mud between the tires. And I ended up just, oh, come on, let's, oh yeah. Yes. So we finally get through that first mud puddle. Now, when I take my pickup through there, I mean, it literally just, I can crawl through there with not a problem. So that's why I slow rolled through it. Now this one's a lot bigger, and I'm like, oh, I better hit it faster. So I did a first attempt. I realized I wasn't going quite fast enough, so I made another run at it. Okay, here we come. This one's a lot bigger. No problem. I made it through the second mud puddle without a hitch. So I got to the first one, got to the second one. I get to the other side, and I'm having some problems. Now, mind you, I'm already through both mud puddles, okay? And I have to go forward and back, and, you know, I do this for probably 15, 20 minutes, you know, just rocking it back and forth. I'm going to spare you the video, but after I finally, you know, got through there, and, you know, here's the tracks from the mud puddle that I went through. The drainage part I dug, and just kind of the aftermath of going through there. But then, so here I am on the other side of the mud puddle, and I'm literally stuck here. This is me, you know, rocking back and forth, and I'm making a little bit of progress at a time, and then pull ahead, back up, pull ahead, back up. And this goes on for probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, I don't know. But I never really get like stuck. So I use my Wisconsin ingenuity here when we get ourselves out of snow, and I cleared all the mud, you know, the mud piles, and then I went and got pine needles and sprayed them down by the wheels, thinking I could get some good traction. Now that's what we do in Wisconsin with the snow. So here I am, after I get the pine needles done, put it in reverse, and I back out of here like there's no, like I'm not even spinning at all. It worked beautifully. So, and then I get to this point here, and I start spinning again. So here I am stuck again. And I'm like, oh my God, not again. So I almost got stuck in the first mud puddle. Got stuck after the second mud puddle. Put the pine needles down. Now I'm stuck again. And I'm like totally deflated. I'm like, you know what? I could go get some more pine needles, do some more digging. I'm like, I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I just need to, call it a night, and I'm just totally deflated. I'm like, you know what? I just need to just go to bed, and tomorrow will be a new day. And I do try to move it again here, and it doesn't work. So this time I'm like really stuck. So, and you really can't see it in this video, but the driver's side is stuck deeper than the passenger side. And here I am trying to maneuver it again, which I try for like 30 seconds and just say, screw it, and then I call it a night. So, but I get in the RV, and the driver's side is stuck deeper, so the whole RV is cattywampus. It's on an angle, it's leaning to the left, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I put my slides out, I crawl into bed. I'm like, I can't sleep like this. I'm sloping downhill. My head is lower than my feet. There's no way I can sleep in this way. So I flip in my bed 180 degrees. I put my feet where my head goes, and my head where my feet goes, and I started to try to go back to sleep. But then, you're there all by yourself with your thoughts, and the monsters start creeping in. It's like, my first thought was, I'm stuck here. I got these 2 mud puddles. The contractors had me move here. What if they don't show up? What if they call in sick? What if they get, what if they just, I don't know. How am I going to get supplies? What am I going to have to go and, haul in diesel fuel and water in 5-gallon jugs? That would take me 14 5-gallon jugs just to fill up the diesel fuel, and another 14 5-gallon jugs to fill up the water. Oh my God. So what am I going to have to do? Go out and buy all these jugs? Or am I just going to have to make 14 trips? It's just, I mean, when am I going to get out? How am I going to get out of here? My son's getting married in 5 weeks. Am I still going to be stuck here in 5 weeks? He's going to be so pissed. I'm stuck in Tennessee, stuck in the woods, can't get out, can't get supplies. I'm just stuck here. So, I mean, the human brain has an uncanny ability to fill in the blanks when you don't know what's going to happen. And we tend to dream up the worst monsters we can think of, which is what I was doing. I was having a panic attack while I was trying to go to sleep. And, I started thinking about other things too. I hope I didn't wreck anything. If the contractors do show up, what are they going to pull me out with a track hoe, pull me out with a bulldozer? Are they going to push me, pull me? I mean, you can't hook onto the front of these things. I mean, there's nowhere to hook on. It's all fiberglass. So you got the trailer hitch in the back. They can, push you with that. But then, if they get kind of cattywampus and the bulldozer blade hits the RV fiberglass and wrecks it, and, all these monsters were going through my head. And I finally got some sleep. I didn't sleep very well, and I probably only had about 3 hours of sleep because I woke up at 5:30, and it's still dark out, and I get up and I walk by the refrigerator, and I know that my coach batteries are dead if the refrigerator lights are out. So the refrigerator's dark, so I know that the battery voltage is probably down to about 8 volts. So everything is pretty much dead in the RV, battery-wise. And I'm stuck. And it's 40 degrees out. I'm like, okay, let's go start the generator. So I go and go to start the generator, and the generator batteries are dead, so it won't start the generator. Fortunately, most of these RVs have an override switch, so we actually have two sets of batteries. There's a set of batteries for the engine, and there's a separate set of batteries for the cabin, to run your lights. So, the cabin batteries are what starts the generator and all that, and then, the engine batteries are kept isolated, so, you can actually start your RV and go somewhere if you ever need to. So they have this switch, another switch you can press that brings the engine batteries online to the generator so you can start the generator. So here I am, holding the one monetary switch to bring the engine batteries online so I can start the generator. I'm holding the other generator, I'm holding the generator button, and it's click, 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 click like that, which it always does. That's just the fuel pump charging the generator, getting fuel in there, and then, it's 40 degrees. It's a diesel generator, so the glow plugs have to heat up, and, it can take sometimes up to a minute for the generator to actually kick over and fire up. So I'm waiting, click, 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 click. All of a sudden a minute goes by, and I'm like, okay, it should start any second here. 2 minutes go by, it's still click, 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 click. I'm like, oh my God, my generator's not going to start. Something's wrong. And the monsters come in, and I have a big panic attack. I'm like, oh my God, I'm stuck in the mud. The contractors aren't going to show up, I'm sure of it. I can't even start my generator, so I'm running out of battery power. I'm not going to be able to work and do my job. I'm going to get fired. And it's just like, it was just a total panic attack. And that was kind of the low point of my experience. And I'm like, you know what? This boondocking thing, I'm going to have to abort it. It just isn't working out. It just isn't working out. I mean, it's just, I can't lose my job. I gotta make it to my son's wedding. I mean, I'm an idiot for even. I mean, what am I thinking? So I crawled back into bed and I grabbed my phone, and thank God that it was charged, and I was looking for a solution for the starter thing. I mean, there's a lot of resources online, a lot of RVers out there now, so you can post a question in one of the Facebook groups, and you'll have 30 responses within 5 minutes, which I didn't have to do, or I didn't, but I got to thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. Now, mind you, before I tell you this next part, I am not a morning person. So if I'm waking up at 5:30, I'm a zombie and I'm still half asleep. So when I finally did wake up, I'm like, oh my God, I think I was pressing the generator starter switch down, which is off. I need to press up. I need to press the top side of the generator switch to get the generator to start. I'm like, oh, I got excited. I came out of my panic. I'm like, oh my God, that's it. I'm sure of it. So I go and hold the generator switch, and bam, it fires up. I'm like, all right, we got generator power. And I'm like, all right, things are looking good. I had an hour yet, so now it's 7 o'clock by the time I get this all figured out. I got to work at 8. The contractors are coming at 8. So I have an hour to go out front and prepare for their arrival and this and that. And so I did. And I'm going to talk about, and then, well, the contractors did show up at 8, thank God. So, I mean, I went from like a low point in this boondocking experience to a high point in a matter of 2 hours, and it was kind of fantastic. So, and just a little sneak preview for the next video, the contractors did show up, and They brought a skid loader, a bulldozer, a track hoe, and dump trucks, and all kinds of fun equipment that I just wanted to play with. And one of the first things they did is they ran the skid steer, or the whatever you call it, the thing with the tracks in the bucket. I should know that. I'm getting tired. And they scraped the top layer of mud off of the entire driveway, and that was one of the first things they did. I took some video of it. I mean, I lost them doing it. I lost the video of them doing it, so I don't have that to show, unfortunately. But it's like a new driveway, and I decided to use my pickup truck to pull out the RV. You know, these guys charge like $1 million an hour, so I didn't want to waste too much of their time. And you know, I asked Panelopie if she could, you know, drive my truck, and she don't have thumbs yet, so you know, she can't hold the steering wheel, so she can't drive. So I decided what I ended up doing is I ended up hooking up my pickup truck to the RV. You went the ass end of the RV to the ass end of the truck, and I had a tow strap, and I hooked the two of them together. I put the pickup truck in 4x4 low, and then I just turned it off, and I text the contractor that was running the skid steer. I'm like, you know, I got my truck hooked up. You know, it's in 4x4 low. The strap is there. I just need someone to come and just get in there and just drive it. So he's like, oh, no problem, no problem. So he came down over my lunch break for work, and he jumped in the truck, and I got in the RV, and we were, you know, as you can see here, we were able to pull it out, and it was easy peasy. I mean, it was incredible how easy it was to pull the RV out. No effort whatsoever. Go Chevy, Chevy. But seriously, ended up being a great day, and all the monsters are gone. I'm glad I'm here. I'm not giving up on the boondocking and getting the land developed, and I have some very exciting things in my next video to show of what's going on here. I can't wait to share it with you all. I just had to get this video out first to show the muddin in the RV. So, you know, the ironic thing of the whole experience is my RV right now is parked in the exact same spot where I was stuck last night. You know, this is the next night. This is April 7th. I'm recording this video, commentaried that, and I'm in the exact same spot. And I put my jacks down. I'm like, you know what? Certainly these are going to sink in. I'm going to have to put some boards underneath them like I normally do. But nope. Even on the low side, it lifted the back end and the front wheel. I mean, both the back wheel and the front wheel are off the ground on the driver's side. And just from the jack, I mean, and the plates and the jacks are like, I don't know, like 8-10 inches, supporting 26 tons. Obviously, not all 26 tons. I mean, you got half on the left, half on the right, and then you got front and back. So, you know, but there's several thousand pounds in the front, and probably, you know, close to 10,000 pounds in the back on the one side, 8,000 maybe. Solid as concrete. So I'm getting ready to sign off, and thank you for watching my video if you're still watching, and if you liked my videos, just subscribe and ask me some questions. I'm looking for questions I can answer in my question of the day. And so subscribe and comment, like, ring the bell, and I will see you in the next exciting video.